Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. Good evening, good evening. I'm going to wait for a few people to join. Hopefully, some people will join during the live. If not, this recording will be saved so that everyone will be able to share it, see it, hopefully, get some empowering information this week about from Speak Initiative. So, for those of you who do not know, my name is Rachel Chinoa J. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. Again, we're here every Wednesday evening, 7:15 p.m., for about 10 to 15 minutes to just take an actual pause. Good evening. I see a few people watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. How are you? How are you? Before we get started, I just want to remind everyone what Speak Initiative actually is. Speak is a nonprofit organization committed to combating the rise of suicide in our communities. SPEAK is an acronym for Suicide Prevention through Empowerment, Action, and Kindness. And as you can see by the banner below, we are still fundraising for the Empowered Pause and the other programs that Speak Initiative has already launched throughout the year. And we're also working on some new programs that will be coming up soon. If you would like to give, or if you would like to see more information about Speak Initiative and our programs, please feel free to visit our website, which is on the banner below. And it is also www.speaksuicideprevention.org. All right. So let's get started with this Empowered Pause. It's Wednesday, July 13th, the middle of July. We're halfway through the year, more than halfway through the year now. For those of you, again, who do not know, the Empowered Pause is here every Wednesday evening where we take time to pause, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, not a long time, but just time to give our speakers and our listeners a moment to gather, connect, recharge, and offer some empowering words or ideas and just space to actually be heard. So, thank you for joining, everyone who's watching. Thank you for joining. Thank you, AQ, for being here. Thank you, Tanya, for actually watching. So, how is everyone feeling this evening? If you would like to share in the chat how's the week going so far? My week has been interesting. As of last week, when I shared, I had a car accident. So this week has been around waiting to get my vehicle fixed and just taking things day by day. What was interesting is I found this morning, one of my friends posed a question to me: what is the beat of your joy? And I was a little perplexed when I heard it because I didn't know what immediately came to mind except sounds that I hear throughout the day, sounds that wake me up in the morning, sounds that are around that I choose to hear. Some of them we don't want to hear, like you may hear some new music behind me outside. Unfortunately, I live in a very noisy area, so I cannot predict when the entertainment is going to come on outside. But in any event, I keep pushing through, right? But the beat of your joy, that's a statement that I never heard put that way. So things that came to mind for me, I just started from the beginning of my day. And I said, well, wow, the sounds that bring me joy. So I have a short list here of some very basic sounds that I know I've decided to lean into because they actually make me feel a little better throughout the moment or throughout the day. They give me a moment to pause. So, first, I like to start my day with the morning birds welcoming a new song into a new day. I happen to not sleep a lot, or sometimes I wake up extremely early. So, when the birds start chirping at 5 a.m., I'm excited because they're excited. Basically, they must be planning their day, planning their meals, whatever creatures beyond humans do. It's a very welcoming sound. Second, I have the purring or the meowing of my fur baby as I feed her first meal of the day. Something that happens all day actually, but in that moment, it's I feel gratitude for being able to provide something to another living creature, to be able to nurture, to be able to house, feed, share, pet, love on, all of those wonderful things. The next sound that came to mind was the sound of children laughing during recess. I happen to live not far from a school, and during recess, when school is in session, I get to hear all of the joy and the screaming of the kids running back and forth. I relish in those moments to hear children laughing. Um, Many things happen throughout the day, of course, and we have our jobs, we have things going on that we don't want to hear. They are not sounds of or the beats of our joy. However, I'm talking about leaning into the things and the sounds that actually do give you that moment to pause. So, one corny sound that I love, but I do give myself these guilty pleasures sometimes where I love the Wheel of Fortune. I watch the Wheel of Fortune when I can. And that could be because I was a contestant at one time, years and years ago. So I know the anxiety and the excitement that goes into producing that show and actually being present on in a live studio audience. So I love the sound of the wheels spinning. I love the clapping and the excitement, even Pat Sajak's voice. I don't know. It's not calming, but it's something I'm used to. It's something that I enjoy. Um, Also, there are specific artists that I intentionally will listen to. Of course, we all have AirPods and we can put any music on and listen to anything we want, but to be intentional about receiving that good energy in a space where you may not always get it. I have an artist that I listen to every evening, every weeknight evening when she's available at 8 p.m. Wonderful, wonderful artist. We get together as a community and we share that time for 1 hour and listen to her play piano and play bass. And it's just a welcoming energy space that I actually have to give to myself daily when I'm able to, right? Sometimes I end my evening or my night before I go to bed listening or playing my sound bowl and I meditate to that sound. Sometimes, most times when I'm meditating to that sound, the wears and tears of the day will basically fall away, right? Those things can actually um, vibrate inside of you until they are off of you. When you are able to sit still and to allow yourself, someone's having a major moment outside. I apologize if you hear that. I hear it. So, you know, we keep pushing forward the way we need to. But that meditative space that allows you to cleanse yourself after a long day, that sound that I actually use and lean into is something that I welcome on a regular basis. It's a practice that I've just put into my life. So it's healing, it's whole, and it's something that I encourage people to do who are interested or even thinking about any types of meditation, right? Late at night, if I'm happen to be up late, the sound of the Metro North horn going north to wherever it may be going, whatever destination, for some reason it relaxes me. If you have a partner at home and you may sometimes watch them sleep, that can be a sound of joy for you. The resting body of someone who you care for, to know that in that moment they are at peace, right? These are sounds that can actually create a cosmic symphony that you are in control of. You are the orchestrator of the symphony, right? You're leading this symphony. You've created these sounds and these beats of your joy throughout the day or throughout your week or your month, however you're looking at it, and you're in control of this. This is where I want to offer the empowerment. There are many things that happen throughout the day that we do not want to internalize, but they happen. There are subway fights, there are angry coworkers, there are, the news, things like that, right? Sometimes we just need to get away. I encourage you to lean into the sounds and the beats of your joy as opposed to allowing the other stuff to weigh on you. We have control of the information and the energy that we actually receive, right? So I'm empowering you to find what are those beats? What are the beats of your joy? Think about it for a while. What does that statement mean to you? Find the things that actually resonate with you. It can be a stranger whistling or flowing water, a baby in the supermarket line that's laughing. Of course, I mentioned your earpods, but that's manufactured in the sound that, of course, we enjoy, but there are other things that we can incorporate as well. And thank you. You said my voice is soothing, um, is a soothing end to a long workday. I appreciate that. That's something I never would have considered my voice. We have things about ourselves that sometimes we are not fans of. I had to get used to loving and listening to my voice. So I appreciate that it's actually soothing. Thank you for being here too. And thank you for commenting again. Anyone who's watching or anyone who will watch this broadcast later on, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you just listening and taking time to understand what we're trying to do with the Empowered Pause, what we're trying to do with Speak Initiative, what we are doing, not what we're trying to do, what we are doing. We are addressing suicide prevention and mental health care in our community. So that's why we're here. But our beats, our beats of joy, that can be the soundtrack of your day, the soundtrack to your life, but you can create that yourself. You do not have to accept other people's beats. You do not have to listen to music that you do not like. You have the option to change the station. You have the option to sometimes walk away, shift your environment. There are a number of things we can do to control how we allow ourselves to show up and how we allow ourselves to be affected, especially when you live in a big city or you're in environments where there's going to be a lot of people, there's going to be things happening, right? So, this is why I encourage you to pause, take that moment to say, wow, that felt good. Maybe I should do that again. It feels great when I walk by the water. I'm going to give myself that at least 10 minutes a day if I can, or when I can, I will enjoy that moment. Um, so that's basically what I wanted to bring to the table today. The question about what is the beat of your joy. If you don't know those beats, figure them out. Figure out what you like. Figure out um, the things that will encourage you to feel better, not feel worse. There are a million ways and a million things that are going on that we are experiencing that can definitely make us feel bad. I'm encouraging you and empowering you to lean into your joy, right? So, what makes you smile? What quickens your step? What resonates within you? Any of those things are empowering. Any of those things you can attain. I am here to stand as a peer support in that moment, right? And that's what we do at Speak Initiative. We are basically peer support for mental health care and suicide prevention. So that is my pause for the day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Again, if you have any questions or need any information about Speak Initiative and what we do, you can send us a message on our Facebook page or directly from our website, which is www.speaksuicideprevention.org. I am your host, Rachel Chenoa J. This has been the Empowered Pause. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a beautiful evening.